Hello and welcome to the news in English from Đồng Nai Radio and Television Station. Here are the main contents of today's news. On March the 26th, the government held its regular meeting in March to discuss the socio-economic situation in March and the first 3 months in 2016. This is a special session, the last session of the government term 2011-2015. Speaking at the meeting, Prime Minister Nguyễn proposed the government, ministries and localities to focus on quickly consolidating the effective implementation of socio-economic development plan in 5 years, from 2016 to 2020, which is approved by the National Assembly in this session.
At the meeting, the government discussed measures to address the emerging hot issue currently, particularly related to drought, saltwater intrusion, food safety, 30,000 billion credit package, regulations of drug prices, and procurement of medical equipment. The government members expressed agreement with the statement, "Economy, society in the second quarter has achieved some results to many positive changes in the field, especially continued macroeconomic stability, control inflation, consumer price index rose at a low level, service sector grew higher than the same period last year, and Vietnam had a trade surplus of 2% of total export turnover." However, GDP growth, industrial area growth has slowed and much lower than the same period last year. Particularly, the agriculture, forestry and fishery industry decreased by 1.2% due to natural disasters, damaging cold, frost, drought, and salinity intrusion. Forecasted for the current situation, economic growth for the whole year reaches only 5.45%, lower than the target set by the National Assembly, which is 6.7%. This is a major challenge for the government. Government members have contributed many ideas and measures, both immediate and long-term, to overcome the existing shortcomings and the emerging complex issues related to early support 538 billion Vietnam dong for the localities suffering from disasters and 10,000 tons of rice for households at risk of hunger. Regulation adjustment by centralized procurement have made many hospitals unable to buy medical equipment, even they can afford it, and drugs procurement prices are still high. Many large infrastructure projects stalled because of regulations governing the total investment, etc. Ending the session, Prime Minister Nguyễn stressed that the socio-economic situation changes positively, but also face many difficulties and challenges. The Prime Minister stated, "We should continue to promote the positive aspects, advantages, and strive to overcome the limitations and weaknesses, highly and successfully finished goals and proposed plan." The Prime Minister also proposed to strengthen the communication of information, create social consensus, create playful atmosphere, excitement, unanimous agreement in the entire party, people and army, and the business community, strive to successfully implement the tasks of the socio-economic development in 2016 and the 5-year plan 2016-2020.
In response to the 18th National Week of Labor Safety and Hygiene 2016, on March the 26th, the Provincial Fire Department, in collaboration with Vedan Vietnam Limited Joint Stock Company in Phước Thái Commune, Long Thành District, organized the rehearsal of firefighting and emergency rescue.
According to the scenario at about 9:10 a.m., on March the 26th, there are large fire incidents at the company's warehouse caused by short circuit. After receiving information, the Provincial Fire Department directed 2 fire trucks and nearly 20 officers and men to participate in the firefighting. After 30 minutes, the fire was completely extinguished. Salvage and rescue forces were conducting rescue of the victims trapped in the warehouse out safely. The rehearsal ended, the organization forces learned from experience in firefighting work in the warehouse, where chemicals are stored, strictly in use, storage and firefighting vehicles is required.
The Law University of Russia Faculty of Law Constitutional Studies recently held a conference in Moscow, in which the ITSE is the main topic of discussion.
Russian expert at the conference warned that the ITSE situation is very dangerous when China set up regional air defense with rocket weapons, create an unsinkable aircraft carrier for supervising the U-shaped line, an area of 2.2 million square kilometers, equivalent to 80% of the surface area of the ITSE. The conference participants reached consensus, an essential freeze for all construction projects on the ITSE, accelerate proceeding the code of conduct in the sea, and establish an international commission with the task the militarization of the ITSE. That is why the priority job is to clarify the legal issues and reach legal consensus.
A day before Easter, on March the 26th, thousands of German people took the streets to have a peace march protesting war and refugee policies in many cities in the country.
There are about 60 anti-war marches taking place all over Germany on March the 26th. Protesters carry anti-war banners such as "War is terrorism," "For a world without war," "Exploitation," and "Racism." These people marched and protested the deployment of German soldiers abroad, deploy unmanned aerial vehicles to the war zone, and call for withdrawal of all nuclear weapons from Europe. The organizers of the marches stressed the purpose is to oppose the deployment of German forces engaged in a civil war in Syria and the deployment of weapons and troops to the war zone, the act that makes refugees have to flee to Germany.
That's all for the news in English for today. Thanks for joining us and goodbye.